All right. I think I'm up and going now. I just want to say hello to everyone that's joining us tonight. I'm really glad you could be here. You're gonna hear a lot more from me tonight than you were supposed to, because unfortunately our board chair, Rory Dunneback, fell ill and was unable to make it with us tonight. So hopefully he'll be joining out in YouTube land with you guys. So I'm Stephanie Rose, Executive Director of the North Clackamas Education Foundation. I've been with the foundation since 2014 and in the Executive Director role since 2017. And I just have to say what an amazing journey it's been to watch the foundation grow and see what we've been able to accomplish. And really, all of those accomplishments come down to you, our donors. Without you, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. We wouldn't be able to support the students that we support the teachers that we support, and help the families in our community. So tonight is all about saying thank you to you, letting you know what the foundation has done and celebrating our accomplishments, as well as informing you. So I'm going to go ahead and start tonight out with a message from the North Clackamas Schools Superintendent, Dr. Shay James.
Our North Clackamas Education Foundation is committed to working alongside North Clackamas School District in removing obstacles for students to meet their potential and ensure that staff and community have what they need to succeed. The North Clackamas Education Foundation realizes the importance of impacting systems and structures to ensure that all students have equitable access to an end goal of high school completion, college, and living wage careers. They passionately put students at the forefront and seek opportunities with partners to improve outcomes for schools and students. In 2020, the North Clackamas Education Foundation hit a record-setting $84,000 and $89,000 in scholarships awarded in the 2021 school year. The foundation continues to partner with our school district to support Ready, Set, Go, a program that introduces preschool-age scholars to school prior to entering kindergarten. The foundation continues to provide $40,000 plus in enrichment grants for our classrooms across the district year after year, while also making a difference in our Wichita Family Support Center, Backpack Buddies, and Lunch Buddy mentorship programs. The North Clackamas staff work hard to prepare for young student scholars for the next phase of their life. This shows through our mission, preparing graduates who are inspired and empowered to strengthen the quality of life in our local and global communities. The North Clackamas Education Foundation supports students, families, and community on this journey towards empowerment to thrive in a global society which ultimately reaches back to more families and communities, leading to a positive future outcome for all. We would like to thank the North Clackamas Education Foundation and all of those who have joined them in walking along the side of our amazing students and families for change, and we sincerely thank you. Our North Clackamas Education
Yeah, I guess I was muted that whole time. See, it would be helpful to have someone else in the room here with me. So I had some connection issues during that video. So what I was saying is that if any of these videos cut out or anything goes on, I will be uploading them to our YouTube channel after the video plays, just in case my connection issues do cut any of that out. I also want to say thank you to Dr. Shay James for taking the time to do that video with us. I know she has a busy schedule, so it's greatly appreciated. We are happy to work with the school district. So this is what we did in the 2020-21 school year. We were able to give back $293,000 to the school district. And as was mentioned, we had a record-setting $89,200 in scholarships to the class of 2021. It was really important for us to make sure that the class of 2021 got the send-off that they needed to go to trade schools, community colleges, and universities all throughout the country. We're looking forward to and expecting big things from them. We also diverted some funding to the Family Support Center and the Emergency Housing Program. It became apparent that our community needed a tremendous amount of support in those areas, and our donors stepped up in a huge way. In 2020 alone, just between the March when everything closed down through to September when school opened up, we fielded more online donations for the Family Support Center than we have in the entire foundation's history. So that is huge, and thank you. You'll hear from Joe Bridgman later tonight about what that meant for the Family Support Center. We did over $30,000 in grants to educators. Now, that may seem odd given that our students weren't in classrooms, but our teachers were so engaged with our students and making sure that they had what they needed for their education. We saw some really unique grants come out of our educators, take home books for students to make sure they could all read together. We saw books that that were made for online reading. So they were large print, large pictures, so teachers could read to younger students. Whiteboards for math was one of my favorite ones. The teacher was having a hard time working with students through the math problems, with their younger students through the math problems. So they got whiteboards so the kids could hold them up and show them the work that they had done. The innovation of our educators over this last year was just simply amazing. We also spent $30,000 to the middle school engagement after school programs. Again, this is something that we usually fund for in person, but it was really important for our middle school students to continue to have these engagements with their peers. And so that funding went to online programs. Ready, Set, Go was also still funded in some capacity. They were doing their own programs to get through COVID. And the Lunch Buddies mentoring program was put on hold, but we did still send a small amount of money to them. And then the school-specific donations and other awards are funding that a donor may send that they may want specifically to go to a school of their choosing. So our scholarships, the North Clackamas Education Foundation now funds or fields 14 scholarships. We administer a couple of scholarships for the Owen and the Sabin Scholarship, and also help to fund the Sabin Schellenberg Scholarship. The other scholarships that you see listed at the top are our scholarships that we fund and facilitate and award ourselves. And we also have 2 new scholarships in that came into our lineup in 2020-21. The first was the Alex Hudson Memorial Scholarship, and that was a previous special education teacher in our district had a brother who was special needs, and he passed away last year. And so they felt that the best way to honor him was to create a scholarship in his name. This scholarship is for students that go to that want to go into fields of service. So teachers, nurses, special education instructors, things like that. The other one was the Future Educator Scholarship, and that was actually created jointly with North Clackamas educators as well as the North Clackamas Education Association. And the point of that scholarship was to be able to get students of diverse backgrounds into the education field. And one of the fun things is hoping that those students that are going on to be educators come back into our district. But you know, 32 scholarships to 28 students. And I hope you're reading this piece down here from the Sandy DePate Memorial Scholarship recipient, class of 2021, Clackamas High School graduate Michelle Bang. We really hope to see her in the future as Dr. Michelle Bang as well. $44,000 in grants were awarded to our classrooms and in discretionary grants district-wide. We awarded 25 of those grants, and 3,800 students were directly benefited from the grant funds. We saw, as mentioned before, a very wide array of projects, and a lot of those centered around tools for distance learning, as well as current cultural topics such as diversity and social justice. One of the grants that we funded was the Ballet Folklorio Club at Alder Creek Middle School. And though they didn't get to sink into the club as much as they wanted to, they were still able to do a few things learning distantly, and then came together to have a little get together and do some dancing in the parking lot. So I want to show you guys now just a quick video of that group and show you what you're helping these students to learn and accomplish. Not only did they learn about traditional Mexican culture, but also traditional dancing. So enjoy. That again. I think I'll remember to unmute myself. Forward. Oh, technology, so fun. All right, stop share for a second and get this all back in order. There we go. All right. Thank you all for bearing with me as I go through this. I appreciate it. All right, you may have heard about this in the last couple of years, and this accomplishment, it is all thanks to you. This is a pledge that we made back in 2017 to provide $1 million to the school district over the next 5 years. We have awarded $800,000. So we are right on track to meet and surpass that goal. And we've also sent $250,000 to the Family Support Center, Backpack Buddies and Lunch Buddies programs over that time. So I'm looking forward to, on this last year, our 2021-2022 year, when we can say that we surpassed that $1 million and we did what we had set out to do. So looking into the 2021-22 school year, we have already awarded over $10,000 in classroom enrichment grants for the year, $25,000 to Ready, Set, Go, and we're continuing to take direction from North Clackamas Schools on where our funding is needed the most. We are continuing to build the important, strong relationships with our Family Support Center. It's become a very meaningful relationship between the foundation and our donors and the Family Support Center, which provides food and clothing to our families in need. And we're projecting a minimum of $220,000 back to the districts through the year. And then our gala, we are really hoping, and maybe I should knock on some wood somewhere, to have an in-person gala again for the first time in 2 years. Some of you may have remembered that we had to cancel our 2020 gala just a couple of weeks before we went into it. And then, of course, our 2021 gala did not happen either. So I'm really, really looking forward to being in person in some capacity, possibly hybrid, and seeing everybody's smiling faces, having fun for that event again. So this is, I'm gonna back up here just a bit. So every year we have our leadership circles where we really thank our donors who have stepped up in big ways to help support the students, the families, and educators of North Clackamas Schools. So our first level is our visionary level. And we have 2 donors at this level, Joe DePape, who has donated in memory of his wife, Sandy DePape. She was an Aspire mentor at Clackamas High School. And as you saw earlier, we now have a named scholarship, a memorial scholarship in her name. And then William Taylor, who has donated in memory of his father, Harold Taylor, who was an educator. And again, this is a scholarship that we now have in our lineup to award students each year. Our champions, our donator champions, are Ken Hill, who donates in memory of his wife, Judith Smith Hill. She was a graduate, I believe she was a 1956 Milwaukee High School graduate, somewhere in those years. So when she passed, it was important for Ken to bring something back to our district in her memory. And that is a STEM scholarship that goes out specifically to young women who are getting into the STEM fields, who are graduating from Milwaukee High School. Judith was a big science buff, and given the trends of the times, was often turned away from that. So Ken felt that that was a great way to honor her. And then Bill and Krista Kaiser are staples of our organization. They donate every year and really help support our elementary students that are going through school. Our steward level, Susan Courtney, Jeannie Magmer and Mike Litt, Frank and Sherry Maglin, Jeff Menges, Brad Owens in memory of Leo Brown, that's another scholarship that we have, and Matt and Nancy Utterback. I'm sure there's some names on this list you guys recognize, big staples of our district. This list grew this year, and this is thanks to all of you stepping up when we needed you the most and just helping out. A lot of these donations went to the Family Support Center, helped make sure that our families had the food and the resources that they need. Joanna and Guy Altman, Andrea Anderson, Mitzi and Steve Bauer, Melody Bennett, Ryan Chapman, Lois and William Costine, David DeLapp, Robert Ely, Alyssa and Barry Engel, Elizabeth Esterberg, Rebecca and Christopher Hauer, Claire and Nathan Hobson, Heather and Jason Hobson, Michael Klain and Janet Putnam, Elaine Hudson Murray, Kareet Shaw, Kathleen Staples, Lynn Sullivan, and Terry Valley. Now, here is where you're going to hear from Joe Bridgman about what your donations meant for the Family Support Center over this last year.
Hello, I'm Joe Bridgman. I'm the Executive Director of the Student and Family Support Services Department with the North Clackamas School District. I'm honored to be with you and say thank you for all the gifts and generosity that you've provided to the school district throughout the years, especially the Family Support Center. This is a vital program within the district that helps support each and every student and family. The Family Support Center has been open even through COVID and even shifted their model to better meet the needs of our students and community. To give you a sense for what that means, just within the last 4 months, the Family Support Center has provided more than 1,200 backpacks to students, 600 coats, and served over 635 households with food, clothing, and other services through the Family Support Center. Thank you for all that you've given. Your support and contributions are vital to us continuing the mission of supporting our students and families. Thank you.
All right, since I keep messing that transition up, I'm just gonna go ahead and stop sharing and see if I can go forward. There we go. And go back to sharing. We couldn't go through the night without saying thank you to our corporate and community organizations supporters. So we'll start with our corporate supporters. And as you can see, we have had a lot of local businesses step up, and this ranges from gala sponsorships to, and even though we didn't have in-person gala, they still sponsored our online galas, fundraising events. So, and also we did fundraisers with some of these, like Cup of Tea. Black Rock does our Halloween fundraiser with us every year. Hops and Drops is absolutely amazing and does $1 for every kids meal that they sell goes to the Family Support Center to help with their food pantry. It's their Kids Feeding Kids program. And I have to give a special shout out for On Point and Chartwells. They have been amazing, not just last year, but previous years as well. They consistently step up to the plate when we need the support and consistently have their finger on the pulse of the community and know what they need to do to make sure that the communities that they're working in are thriving. So thank you to all of our corporate sponsors. Our community organization sponsors, we have a lot of them. Of course, the school district and the Education Association with our partnership with them, they help support us in turn. The Blue and Heron Foundation of Willamette View, they support a lot for the Backpack Buddies program. That's one that's near and dear to the residents there at Willamette View. And then the local Rotary clubs have also stepped up in some big ways to help support individual elementary schools, as well as supporting the food pantry, some of the mental health programs that we see in our high schools. And then we have the Elks clubs and the churches that are in the area who are really instrumental in making sure the Backpack Buddies program runs, making sure not only does it have the funding that it needs, but making sure that those backpacks are packed and that they're going home with the kids that they need to go home with. Our last, I believe this is our last piece of the evening, is something we have been trying to get going for a little while now, and hopefully this is just a small kickoff, and we'll see more of this and maybe turn it into its own event later on in the future. And so we want to honor a handful of educators in our district that we've noticed have gone above and beyond to really make things amazing for our students. So the first recognition that we're going to give out is an innovation award for Nicole Matthews from Milwaukee High School and Nicole Lang from Rex Putnam High School. Now they got their grant for a program called Gizmos, and it's a quality science education program that includes experimentation, engineering, and hands-on experience. And so this is science content that kids were able to use online, as well as bring it out and use it in the hybrid models and in person. And so using that and the two schools, the two teachers collaborating together, we felt that this was probably one of the most innovative grants that we saw come out of this last 2020-21 year, where the students were home for the vast majority of their time. The next one that we want to give is a certificate of recognition for collaboration. And so this grant was initiated by Alder Creek Middle School educators Carrie Blythe and Barbara Ackerman. And it's for outstanding collaboration among educators to impact and reach a maximum amount of students through their grant, BIPOC authors in the middle school classroom. Now, this grant was important for collaboration because this grant didn't just go to these two that initiated it. It went to 8 middle school teachers throughout the district, every middle school in the district. And so these books were able to touch all of our middle schoolers. And it's these types of grants that we're able to fund thanks to you that really make a huge impact on the lives of our students, open up their eyes to the world, and make sure that they have what they need to thrive. Our next grant, or our next award, is a Spotlight Award for Canada Elementary. So there's this list of teachers here: Barb Stevens, James Ringo, Kelly Granato, Grace Morishita, Michelle Giddings, Anna Soy, Oksana Sharash, and Diana, Nwai, for outstanding involvement by a school to support students through grant funding. So this was amazing to see. Canada Elementary, as one of our newest schools, their teachers stepped up to the plate, and they were sending us grant after grant. They knew that their kids needed something, not only being at a new school for the year, but facing the hardships that they were going through. And so we wanted to award them specifically for taking that initiative and making sure that their students were engaged in the best way possible. The next award is our Superstar Award. And we want to just shine a light on Renee Jarmer, who is the drumline coordinator for Rex Putnam and Alder Creek Middle School. And this is for her outstanding dedication to the students of North Clackamas Schools through her tireless fundraising efforts and commitment to the Kingsman Thunder drumline. Now, if you haven't seen the drumline, you need to. You're going to see it in just a second, but we also have some videos on our YouTube channel. They have their own YouTube channel, and they're kind of the highlight of the night at our gala when they open our gala. So this program is not funded by the district. It is funded solely from the fundraising efforts of Renee and the parents and students of the program. It is the only competing drumline in North Clackamas Schools, and they have done great. I would do them disservice if I tried to list off all of their awards. I should have put it in front of me, but they have placed well. I think they took first in one of the ones that they did a couple of years ago. And so this is a program that we fund. This is a program that your donations allow us to fund, and it is simply amazing to see the work that is done for this program to keep this program going. And so I'm going to turn it over now. And this video was made for us last year. We don't have an updated one yet this year. We're still new in the year, but as I hear it, the drumline has big plans again. So we're going to see this video again, and you may have already seen it. That's why I say again. So enjoy. I'm sorry, I messed that up. I was trying to turn the volume up on it and it did not go well. So let's try that again. Maybe I can turn the volume up on it out of screen better. There we go. All right. All right, here we go. They are, that group is simply amazing. I hope you check them out, and I hope that you can come see them next time we have them with us for our gala. And with that, I want to close out the night. Thank you for hanging in here with me, even through my little stumbles. My first time live streaming, so I think it went pretty well. But it's really, all of this is possible only because of our donors. And to all of you that are out there watching right now, thank you for your continued support, for your volunteer time, for your tireless efforts to make the best of our education systems for our students and our educators and our families of North Clackamas Schools. I look forward to engaging with you all in the future, and I hope that you have a very good night. Thank you.